A very, very, very interesting UFC 163 takes place at HSBC Arena in Rio, Brazil. Saturday, August 3rd, 2013, which is a ways away, but not too far away to do a great in-depth analysis and some of my picks too. The Korean Zombie slated to take not Jose Aldo, sorry, slated to fight Jose Aldo. Originally, it was supposed to be Showtime Pettis, finally getting his title shot in the featherweight division. It's odd enough that a lightweight is fighting for a featherweight title, especially since his last win was over Donald Cerrone in the lightweight division. So, does beating a lightweight give you the right to drop down to featherweight and to fight for the title? Ask Chael Sonnen. Anyway, the Korean Zombie, 3-fight win streak. He's actually 3-2 in his last 5. His last 2, Roop knocked his ass out. It was pretty bad. That was terrible. He was coming off of the devastating and very confusing split decision loss against Leonard Garcia in the WEC's only pay-per-view event, Faber versus Aldo. They were on I think the undercard. Yeah, I think they kicked the night off. It was on free TV, and these guys went at it like fucking rock and sock and robots, back and forth. There was no takedowns. No one shot in on anybody. No one was submitting anybody. It was punches to the face, and that was it. And some serious head kicks and body kicks. I mean, they just brutalized each other. They just absolutely went in there and fucking brutalized each other. And it was so. It was just. I mean, I was standing. I was standing up, screaming my head off. I couldn't believe the two guys, especially someone so unassuming like Chan Sung Jung, who, by the way, is my pick over Jose Aldo. I'll get to that in a second. Someone who looks so unassuming, but when the cranberries start booming out of those speakers and you see him walk out, you know that he's walking out very prepared for his opponent. I don't think he would take the fight against Aldo if he wasn't prepared for it. He's been calling him out for quite some time, and who wouldn't want the title? That's the goal, get the title shot, and he did it. You can't hate on him for it, although the MMA community is pretty outraged. I saw some shit on the underground, and even some pro fighters. Cub Swanson felt like he deserved it. Cub Swanson actually said that Ricardo Lamas deserved it before he did. So the Korean Zombie would be like 3rd down the list. I disagree. I think Lamas has a better chance than Cub Swanson of taking care of Jose Aldo and actually winning the belt. But I don't think either of them could do it. I think a Korean Zombie could do it. I think he can do it, and he's my pick. I am not going to ask who you guys like for the main event, Aldo versus Chan Sung Jung, because I don't want to see Jose Aldo's name the entire way down my comment section, and I don't want to be insulted the entire way down my comment section, but I cannot wait to prove you wrong. In the co-main event, UFC 163, we got Lyoto Machida and Phil Davis. Phil Davis is 11-1 with one no contest. Lyoto Machida 13-3, and also currently ranked number 1 in the light heavyweight division. And the number 2 ranked guy, Alexander Gustafsson, is getting the next crack at Jon Jones, which I feel is completely unfair and unwarranted, being that Machida put on such a great performance against Jon Jones. He was in trouble. Jones was in trouble with Machida. If Machida fought the way that I hoped that he would, and it sucked to see Jon Jones, usually so classy and nice, and leave Machida, fucking completely passed out and smashed his face like that off the mat. It was pretty cruel. He had him in a standing guillotine position once the lights went out. Jon Jones let him go, and he fell to his right and smashed his nose. End result, rhinoplasty, and that was after this admission. It was a tight fucking choke. But up until that point, he was doing fantastic. I think that if he makes the tweaks and adjustments, I think he could pull. He would be the only 205-pound guy on the planet Earth that would come close to putting it on Jon Jones. Not saying that he will. I wouldn't have an opinion in that one. Those two guys are in my top 5. So It really doesn't matter to me. I just love the way Machida is. In and out. Extremely elusive. He's been leaping in and out like a fucking violent fencer since he was a baby. Machida karate is extremely efficient in MMA, especially the way that he intertwines it with his wrestling. His impeccable takedown defense and incredible strength. He has knockout power, both hands, and he can grapple. So he's the whole package. You know, there's nothing there that says he can't beat Jon Jones. And actually, he's a 4-1 favorite to dominate Phil Davis. I don't even think he'll need 3 rounds. The funniest thing about Koscheck versus Maia is not only one's a striker wrestler, the other one's a Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu. It's just always awesome when that happens. But the best thing about it is Kaz is coming off of a two fights didn't go his way. Hendricks, I think you won across the board, 29-28. I've watched it at least a half a dozen times. My mind's not going to change. It was 29-28, Koscheck. But I don't make the rules. So he loses to Hendricks, goes into the Robbie Lawler fight, a heavy, heavy favorite, and ends up getting knocked out in the process. So he needs this fight. You know, 3 strikes are out. It's never good. Meanwhile, Damian Maia is on a 3-fight winning streak. So he's won his last 3. His last defeat coming at the hands of Chris Weidman, who in just a couple days here is going to take on Anderson Silva for the belt, but he's not going to get it. And I certainly hope you're not falling for that hype. I saw through that a mile away. So you got one guy, fighting for his job, and then you got one guy fighting for a title shot. It just, to me, doesn't really make sense to match the pair up. It really doesn't. Other than the fact that they're veterans and they're literally different, black and white when it comes to stylistically. Okay, but as far as where they are in their careers, their rankings, I can't see why they would. I can't see what either man benefits from this matchup. Like to see Ronnie Yaya and Uncle Creepy Ian McCall are also all on the card. Also some women's MMA, Amanda Nunes and Sheila Gaff. And I've heard of Sheila Gaff. Amanda Nunes, I need to get on YouTube or Google or something. Hopefully there'll be some sort of highlight or fight of hers that I could watch, because women's MMA, it's only going to get bigger. And plus, I feel like the women bring it more often than not. The women bring it more than the men do. Let's face it, guys. I mean, look at the way the ladies fucking fight. Look at Ronda Rousey tearing shit up. Miesha Tate just getting the winning lottery ticket when Kat Zingano got injured. Steps into tough. Kat Zingano was relatively unknown until she beat Miesha Tate. Solidifying her spot on the Ultimate Fighter as their next coach. It's actually going to be co-ed. So. They're going to be, you know what I mean? Ronda Rousey was the first one to step up to the plate and say, there will be none of that in my house. I'll make sure the girls know that they'll be deemed as sluts forever if they fuck in the house. It was weird, that she would just jump straight to that. But, yeah, that was said a while ago. And it was going to be her and Zingano facing off in the end. In the octagon instead, Zingano gets injured. Tate gets to step in. Now we get to see what we all wanted to see to begin with, and that's the 2 most beautiful women in women's MMA going at it back and forth. And again, I would have to give that one to Ronda again. And there's very few things I enjoy than someone that's a huge favorite and a huge underdog, and the underdog pulling out an upset victory. And I'm telling you, the Korean Zombie is the guy to do it. Look at him. He's so unassuming. He's just short Chinese guy. He's not big. There's no muscles. He's got knockout power. Just anaconda-like submissions. He moves. The way that he rolls, the way he transitions, in the Dustin Poirier fight, where he was a 3-1 underdog. It was incredible to see. Fight of the year. Absolutely fight of the year. It's one of the best MMA fights I've ever seen in my life, out of any organization. And it was at the hands of the Korean Zombie. He looks better and better every fight. He's one of those fighters, kind of like Chris Weidman, where you see him and you go, damn, that guy's dangerous. He's going to be knocking on the door soon for a title shot. And then he comes out the next time, and he's far better than you think he would have gotten in that time span. You know, there's just those people. There's those people that are just they're fighting, they're training, and they're eating and dieting and running and doing their cardio in the gym on a different frequency than everybody else. Like John Jones, freak of nature. He just has a body made for MMA. Anderson Silva, just absolutely smooth, fluid. Like he moves just like he's in a Mortal Kombat game. Like he knows exactly what's coming at least 2 or 3 seconds before you throw it. Somehow he knows where it's going. If it's a hook, if it's a cross, it's straight, an uppercut. He knows and he's out of the way. That's the way it is. It's just the way that it is. That's why he's the #1 pound for pound mixed martial arts king. Period. Right. Anyway, back to the main event. Korean Zombie's 13-3. Aldo's 22-1. But again, I have Korean Zombie picked all day. I think Chan Sung Jung is ready for this. He's been calling Aldo out since the Mark Hominick fight. He knocked out Mark Hominick in, 9 seconds? And he's been calling him out ever since. And that's his weight division. That's his weight class. He wants to be the champion. This is his shot. And he wouldn't take the fight if he didn't think he could win. You know, he's a very nice guy, soft-spoken. And, he has the utmost confidence in himself. And people that have confidence like that in themselves, I tend to go their way. So Korean Zombie over Aldo. Cub Swanson, talking is going to do nothing about the situation. So it really doesn't matter. Machida definitely over Davis. I don't think he'll need 3 rounds for that. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to take Maia over Josh Koscheck. And I hate to say this even worse, by submission. I think he's going to submit Josh Koscheck. I don't think Josh has the fire anymore. I just don't think he really has I don't think he has what's needed, the heart and desire to compete in this sport anymore. I just don't see it. In the Lawler fight, you could see he was kind of dropping his hand and being lazy. Whether that's lack of work, because he absolutely did nothing when he fought Mike Pierce. He didn't train a single fucking day to fight that guy. He almost lost to him, too. It was a split decision. It was scary. You don't want to lose against someone that you're supposed to beat, and that's kind of what happened with Mike or Robbie Lawler rather, and actually put Lawler on the top 10. So one fight UFC, you're already in the fucking UFC top 10. Anyway, the WMMA fights on here. I love the women. They always come out strong. They always come out hard. They always come out to win. Josh Koscheck fighting for his job. Can't have 3 losses in a row. Everyone knows that. 3 strikes, you're out rule. Although I think they would probably make an exception for Josh Koscheck, but he would sit out for quite a while. Not that I think he would mind. Damian Maia, he's on the title hunt still. There's no doubt about that. He's trained just as hard as he's ever been. I'm going to take Maia over Koscheck, Machida over Davis. And again, Korean Zombie over Aldo, and I guarantee you're going to call me crazy, call me nuts, and all this stuff. And I just can't wait to prove you wrong.